What if I told you that a move is happening right now in Minnesota that could shake the entire foundation of the NFL? I'm not talking about a rumor. I'm not talking about speculation. I'm talking about something real, something big. The Minnesota Vikings are cooking up a trade so bold, so unexpected that it could completely redefine the direction of this franchise and catch the entire league off guard. I'm Victor, and if you're a true Vikings fan or just a football fanatic who loves the thrill of breaking news, you're going to want to buckle up for this one. But before we dive into the details, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single update. Because trust me, what's coming next? You'll want to be the first to know, so let's get into it. After the Steelers pulled off that blockbuster move for Jalen Ramsey, one name is suddenly getting a lot of buzz in trade circles: Tyreek Hill. And yeah, you heard that right, the Minnesota Vikings should be on the phone with Miami right now. In today's video, I'm breaking down why the Vikings need to get aggressive, what Tyreek would mean for our offense, and why this actually makes more sense than you might think. So if you're fired up for this one, smash that like button, subscribe if you bleed purple, and let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. The Dolphins just traded Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith to the Steelers. That's two key starters gone in one move. And while they got Minkah Fitzpatrick in return, it's pretty obvious what's happening in Miami. They're retooling, maybe even quietly rebuilding. And look, Tyreek Hill noticed. Dude literally posted the Will Smith empty room meme on Twitter. He's not happy. Now remember, Hill's cap hit this year is $27.7 million, and this is the last guaranteed year of his deal. He turns 31 this season, and his production took a big dip in 2024. 959 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, and that's after leading the league with 1,799 yards the year before. Injuries to Tua played a role, but you can tell the vibe in Miami is shifting, and Tyreek, he might be looking for a fresh start. So here's the million-dollar question. Why should the Vikings get involved? Let's be real, our WR room is already good. Jay Jettas, Addison, and even Naylor fighting for that WR3 spot. But you drop Tyreek Hill into this offense, and suddenly, it's nightmare fuel for opposing defenses. Imagine this: Jefferson lining up outside Tyreek in the slot, or motioning wide, Addison stretching the field, TJ Hawkinson attacking the seams. Who do you even cover? And for a young QB like JJ McCarthy, that's the dream. Give the rookie easy YSE options, speed that forces safeties to play deep, and a vet like Tyreek who can be a go-to on 3rd and 7. This wouldn't just help McCarthy grow, it would elevate the whole offense. And let's not forget, Tyreek's caught 73 touchdowns in his career, has 8 straight seasons over 1,000 scrimmage yards, and is still one of the most dangerous playmakers in the game when healthy. Now the important part, what's the price? The Dolphins won't get a king's ransom for Tyreek. Why? He's 31 big cap, hit declining stats, uncertainty around Miami's rebuild. You could realistically offer a 2026 third-round pick, maybe a player like Jalen Naylor in a package, or a conditional second-rounder if he hits yardage incentives. That's a steal for a guy with all-pro juice, and the Vikings have the flexibility to pull this off. They cleared cap space, they have picks, and they're clearly in a win-now hybrid mode. Kwesi already showed he's not afraid to be bold. Remember the move up for Dallas Turner? This is the kind of swing that could define an era. Now listen, I know some of you are gonna say, Victor, we don't need another wide receiver, or we should develop the young guys. But let me ask you this, when's the last time the Vikings had 2 true WR1s? Adding Tyreek doesn't block Addison's growth, it accelerates it. He draws coverage, he creates chaos, and even if it's just for 2 years, that's 2 years of elite production for a QB room that needs it. And if it doesn't work, he's off the books after 2025. Low risk, high reward. That's what smart front offices do. So now I'm throwing it to you, Vikings Nation. Would you trade for Tyreek Hill right now? What would you give up? And do you think he still has gas left in the tank? And how dangerous would our offense be with Jay Jettas, Hill, Addison, and Hawk all on the field? Drop your thoughts down below. I'll be reading and replying to every single one of y'all in the comments. If you're hyped by the idea of a Tyreek trade, hit that like button, subscribe for more Vikings news, and make sure you're locked into Report Vikings every week. This is Victor, as always, Skull to the bone, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's get aggressive, let's go get a ring, let's now see the latest news around the NFL, and go Vikes!
We're back on Get Up, and Lamar Jackson has high expectations for himself heading into year 8 after falling short of a Super Bowl appearance last year when the Ravens lost in the divisional round in Buffalo. Lamar taking a closer look at his leadership style ahead of the new season. Listen to what he had to say.
I'm really not outspoken, like being vocal with my guys, like, oh, let's do this and that, or got a great motivational speech. I don't have that. I just pretty much lead by example. I go out there, I'm going to work hard. I expect that out of you. But as I've been growing in the league, it's like, nah, you got to talk to the guys. Coaches and stuff like to tell me, like, talk to the guys. I'm like, all right. Now I talk to them one-on-one, but certain things I'm seeing, I got to voice it more. I got to voice my opinion more to those guys.
So, just to clarify, that was on the Cold Tub, Kevin Hart's show, Cold Tub.
In case it wasn't clear, yes.
Kevin obviously stealing our original idea for our set, so we couldn't use it. We had to pivot to this. But anyway, Kmart, what's your reaction when you hear Lamar talk about
Number one, love his fresh blowout. Number two, love that he feels more empowered, feels like he wants to take on more of a leadership role. Mm-hmm. But I kind of watched that and thought, okay, leadership wasn't really your issue. Like, for the Ravens, it is literally in the fourth quarter, an overtime, close-out game. Catch the ball, son. Actually do the job. Finish. He talked about that when they reported for minicamp. He said, we just need to finish. And he watched the Buffalo game in the divisional round. And he said, we just missed opportunities. That, to me, is the biggest issue with the Ravens. They don't have a leadership void at head coach or quarterback. It is just do the fundamentals and do them well.
Harry, you agree?
Yeah, it's the self-inflicted wounds for the Baltimore Ravens, and this is a team on paper. They have everything to win a Super Bowl. They just need to go out there and do it. When you look at the divisional round versus the Buffalo Bills last year, it was the interception by Lamar, the sack fumble by Lamar, the fumble by Mark Andrews, the drop on the two-point conversion by Mark Andrews. The previous year in the AFC Championship game versus the Chiefs, it was Todd Monken not running the football, doing what they did the entire regular season. It was the turnovers. 3 turnovers versus the Chiefs 2 years ago, 3 turnovers versus the Buffalo Bills that led to 10 points last year, and they lost by 2 points. So it's the self-inflicted wounds. And if you're John Harbaugh, you have to say to yourself, what do I need to do as a head coach to make sure that we stop these self-inflicted wounds and in the biggest game of the year, not have these mistakes happen over and over again?
I mean, D-Wood, I was at the game. Like, the Ravens didn't turn the ball over all year, and then they show up in this game and they start fumbling. Like, what's the deal?
I'm not going to overcomplicate this at all. The Ravens need to play the way that you play in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Literally, that's it with the Baltimore Ravens. If you play the way that you play in the regular season, carry that to the postseason, more than likely, you will find yourself in the Super Bowl. I don't know what's going on as far as preparation or is the game too big, but it just seems like there's a Jekyll and Hyde in how they play between the regular season and the postseason. They just got to get that fixed and they'll be fine.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it just didn't make any sense, like, for them to show up and start fumbling when it wasn't a problem they had all year. One of these years, maybe it works out for them. We'll see. They continue to be a top contender as we head into this year. We're going to start a feature now called Burning Questions. We're going to do this for every division here over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to do AFC South today. One burning question for every team in the division. Harry Douglas, how good will Cam Ward be in year 1 for Tennessee?
As good as his veteran wide receivers allow him to be. The Tennessee Titans, they revamped their offensive line over the last 2 years. But when you look at these veteran wide receivers, Calvin Ridley and also Tyler Lockett, who they signed from the Seattle Seahawks, those guys are exactly what a young quarterback need. Veteran guys who have a lot of cachet in this league and made plays. So Cam Ward will only go as far as those veteran receivers allow him to be.
D. Wood, the Texans made a lot of changes on offense, new receivers, a new offensive line, Nick Chubb. Did they get better or worse around C.J. Stroud?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
That's fine.
To be honest with you. Because, listen, we know they got a new offensive coordinator in Nick Caley coming over for the Rams. They literally have changed over their offensive line. Obviously, Laramie Tunsil, they traded him to the Washington Commanders. Mm-hmm. The biggest question for me is, what is this offensive line going to look like? They were bad last year, and I have no clue what they're going to look like this year.
Yeah, a lot of changes, but I guess considering how bad they were, change might not be a bad thing. Jacksonville now, D. Wood. Will new head coach Liam Cohen bring out the best in Trevor Lawrence?
He better. That's why he's there, right? Trevor Lawrence, we came into this year, last year, everyone thinking, okay, Trevor Lawrence is going to bounce back, whatever. This man is number one overall pick, is getting paid a boatload of money.
Sure.
That is the reason you are there. You are there to rehabilitate Trevor Lawrence. If we don't see some type of return on that, man, it's going to look ugly in Jacksonville.
And now to Indianapolis, the Colts, Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, quarterback competition. Richardson already hurt. Harry, it may be too soon to ask this, but was Anthony Richardson a wasted draft pick for Indy?
Roz, I think it's still to be determined. Now, it's trending in that direction because the 2 years that Anthony Richardson has played for the Colts, he's only started 15 games. He hasn't looked good out there in the football field. He's been injured. I think it's entirely too early, though, to just say that, they missed on him right now.
It probably is too early. Well, hopefully he gets another chance to show what he can do, but the offseason injury not exactly setting him up for success.
No!
Yes, and find out, would Kmart be shocked? Kmart, would you be shocked if Justin Fields takes the Jets to the playoffs this year?
Okay. The last time they made the playoffs, I think D. Wood was on the team. It has been so long since they've made the playoffs. I'm not saying that Justin Fields wouldn't be an upgrade from what they had last year, that he won't have a good season, but to expect the Jets to make the playoffs in that division, I don't see it.
What do you think, D. Wood?
Yeah, listen, I don't expect the Jets to do it. I think that the pathway is they should have set a record for running the football. When you got that type of athlete, the quarterback position, they're strengthened off the line in their backfield, they got to utilize that athleticism at the quarterback position.
My guess is at least that'll be the plan to start and probably all year. All right, Kmart, would you be shocked if Michael Penix Jr. leads the Falcons to the playoffs this season?
Daniel, I would not be shocked. Listen, I think the Falcons waited till week 15 to make a QB switch from Kirk Cousins to Michael Penix. I think, in that division, I think it's, for the most part, pretty wide open. They swept the Bucs last year in the regular season, so I wouldn't be shocked if they actually made the playoffs. I think.
Harry, what do you think about your Falcons and their chances with Penix running the show?
Yeah, I love Michael Penix Jr. He's a guy that can beat you at all three levels, short, intermediate, deep. And I think one of the things that really alerted this coaching staff to draft him is that they kind of reminded him of Matthew Stafford. This coaching staff came from the Los Angeles Rams. So being able to throw the football outside the numbers and be a sharpshooter in that capacity, he's cool, calm, and collected. And he has this entire offseason to be able to be the number one guy and build that rapport with Drake London and also Darnell Mooney. If they can get Kyle Pitts to come on board, this is going to be a scary football team for 2024.
We've been waiting for that. We've been waiting that since he was drafted.
That is what you call a big if. One more. We've been talking about TJ